Dominic McAndrew was supposed to call me about Measure L. Totally wrong. Because they did an interview with Perro. I was going to chop. They love. I've got this thing now where I know what they want.
Good morning, everybody. Let's call this meeting to order.
Things that paint a picture.
The Board of Supervisor meeting is now called to order. Rhonda, do we have any additions to the agenda?
No, Mr. Chairman, no additions.
Okay. County Council.
Actually, Mr. Chairman, there is one addition. I apologize to Madam Clerk for not getting it to her sooner. Staff is requesting that one additional item be added to this morning's agenda. You all received correspondence, I think, from the DA and myself in the last few days. This is an item that came to our attention, and we're wanting to advise the board in closed session. This is an item that came to our attention since the agenda was posted. So it is a two-step process, as you'll see on page 1 of the agenda. It's a subsequent need item. We need a 2/3 vote of your board in order to add the item to the agenda, and then it'll be added to we're requesting it be added to the closed session agenda, and then I'm not sure that any action will be taking place, but we'll see if there is action that needs to be taken in closed session, then we can report that out when we adjourn. So the item to be added that we're requesting is public employee performance evaluation. And the title of the position is the Chief of the Department of Corrections position.
I move that we take up this item and find that the need to take action on it arose after the posting of the agenda.
Second.
We have first and second.
Call for the vote. Supervisor Wheeler?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Frazier? Yes. Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Okay, so the record will reflect that item is added. We'll just add it as item 2F on the agenda, but that doesn't mean we need, as you know, we don't necessarily take everything in alphabetical order in closed session. So,
right.
How about 2D?
All right.
Okay, nothing else to add then. So if, Mr. Chairman, I will read the closed session items in just for the record.
Please do so.
We have 6 items now on the closed session agenda. Item 1 is conference with labor negotiators. Up for discussion is all units. Item number 2, County Administration HR Operations Division. This is public employee appointment, and that is the Director of the Department of Social Services. Item number 3 is real property negotiations. This is county-owned property. The APN is 010-133-001. The address is 210 West Yosemite Avenue. Item number 4 is conference with legal counsel existing litigation. This is the California Department of Transportation versus Madera County case. This is discussing existing settlement agreement implementation. Item 5 is conference with legal counsel anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation. There's 1 case up for discussion. And then item 6 is the one we just added, is the public employee performance evaluation, chief of the Department of Corrections.
Very good. Thank you. Well, let's go with the closed session, folks. County Council, do we have anything to report, a closed session?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No, we took up a few of the matters, but no action was taken that requires a reporting out. However, we will need to go back into closed session to finish up the remaining items.
Okay. We have Fred Thurman for invocation. Please rise.
Thank you for the privilege to be here this morning. Heavenly Father, we thank you this morning as we come into your presence in prayer. We thank you that we trust that you will bless our county and speak through and to our supervisors this morning as they make decisions and hear people speak on different subjects. You said if we asked wisdom, insight, on anything we needed it, we could ask and you'd give it to us. And so today, Father, we thank you for your wisdom as we ask to be a blessing to our county and to our cities. In Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Amen. Let's honor our flag and those who have died to defend it, as well as those who still stand guarding its freedom. Ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, would you read public comment statements, public comments?
The first 15 minutes of each regular session is set aside for members of the public to comment on any item within the jurisdiction of the board, but not appearing on the agenda. Items presented under public comment may not be discussed or acted upon by the board at this time. For items appearing on the agenda, the public is invited to comment at the time the item is called for consideration by the board. Any person addressing the board under public comment will be limited to a 3-minute presentation to ensure that all interested parties have an opportunity to speak. Any handouts to the board must be submitted to the chief clerk of the board for distribution to the supervisors. Anyone addressing the board needs to print their name clearly on the speaker sheet at the podium. Also, all persons addressing the board must state their name and county residence for the record.
Thank you, Chairman, members of the board. Norman Allender, Chief of Development Services. Just wanted to give a little recognition to our Public Works Department, who on Thursday night with District 4 Chief of Staff, Letty Gonzalez, attended an awards banquet for the work that was done in concert with the City of Madera, County of Madera, for Parkwood and Parksdale for their infrastructure study. That was the recipient of a local engineering award, and I just wanted to give that recognition to the board and make sure that Monty Pistoresi at home finds out about that, and so that it's very important that we just remind ourselves and take a little bit of time every once in a while to recognize the good work. This is a cooperative for city and county. It's to benefit two well-deserving communities. Certainly, as you know, it was a very important issue that the county and the city worked on. So just wanted to recognize that award given to the Public Works Department. Also, the City of Madera received the award with the consultant. So it was a 3-part award. Just want to make that recognition to Ahmad and his staff. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I want to say something about that.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. And I got 2 letters, different ones from different people. One was from a company, and for Public Works too, it was sent to Ahmad, our Public Works Director, and it just said, I'm not going to read the whole letter because it's a long one, thanking all of our staff, and it says, with this in mind, I write that with gratitude for the several employees under your leadership, Philip Toller, Cecil, the rest of them. And I just wanted to thank our staff again for doing that. And the other one is actually addressed to Max, but it came to all of us, on working with Trieber, Hinton, Ramsey, Quigley, and Keenan, all for their extremely professional, responsive, and expeditiously processed our permit. And that's the kind of stuff that we've been working on for years to be able to do this. And I just can't thank all of our staff, just like Norm just did, of how good they are and how much I really appreciate them. So thank you.
Chairman Rodriguez, Supervisors, Stevie McNeil, Madera County Ag Commissioner, and I'd like to introduce today the newest member of my management team, Mr. Bill Griffin. And Bill comes to us from from Fresno County Ag Commissioner's Office, where he has 17 years of experience. Great. And I'd like to say, after years of Madera County being the training ground for other counties and leading people and losing people to other counties, your faith in your employees and what you did to help for retention and keeping people here is working, and Bill is proof of that. And I'm glad to have someone coming over the river this way, finally, for once.
And we've been doing that. It's been so nice.
Yes.
And what was your name, Bill?
Bill Griffin.
Griffith?
Griffith.
Good morning. Yep. Bill Griffin. Good morning, Supervisors. As Stevie said, I came from Fresno County Ag Department with 17-plus years of experience in Fresno County Ag Department. So I'm excited to be here. Great to join this team, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for coming.
Welcome. Thank you.
Now you can move here, too.
I am. Actually, I'm already here, so thank you.
Yeah, actually, to that point, and yesterday we had a meeting, Dennis was there, and we were talking about this exact thing where, we've pared back our workforce. We've asked people to do more, but then we've realized that, if you're going to be asked to do more, we should be paying you at a different rate so that you're
decent
wage. Decent rate. So that's our wage, and that's what we've done. That's become the policy of this board, and it's great to hear that now we are attracting people back over. Instead of we're now making Fresno the training ground, because I think this is such a great place to work. We want to get things done. You can actually kind of get out of the bureaucracy and actually do something here in Madera County, and we'll pay you accordingly. And so I'm just excited that that's now happening. And so thank you for coming here.
Yeah, follow up on that. There's also an economy of scale to that, where instead of hiring more people, we have efficient people who are doing
quality people,
less, and it's cheaper to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's beneficial budget-wise, but we are paying better, so it makes sense.
Okay. And people seem to have smiles on their face now. It wasn't like that always.
Good morning, Chairman Max Rodriguez and board members, Dennis Cook, Department of Behavioral Health. And I'm talking about a little bit different. Instead of attracting someone from across the river, is keeping someone that's already here on this side of the river. And I want to introduce our new Assistant Director of Behavioral Health Services, one of the most challenging jobs out there. We have 4 clinics, about 4,000 clients, 140 staff, and she has to put up with me. And I'm going to introduce Julie Morgan, and she can tell you a little bit about herself. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you. I'd like to first start with thanking everybody for the opportunity. Madera County has always been home for me, so I was raised in the foothills in Oakhurst. Went to Fresno for a little while for school. When I became hired with the county, I moved into Madera, married my husband out of the ranchos, and now we raise our kids here. So
wow.
it is a blessing to know that you can continue to serve a community that you're invested in. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank
you. For public comment, I just wanted to congratulate Dan Riley and Riley's Brew Pub. Unfortunately, it's in Clovis right now, but Riley's Brewing is from Madera, and they won the Fresno Section California Restaurant Association Best Newcomer honors last night at the awards dinner, and I just wanted to congratulate him. And I'm sure we'll be having a proclamation for him soon.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
he's a great guy. Very good.
Rain update.
And he wants to bring one to Madera as well.
Good.
So.
Mr. Wheeler.
Yeah, I just want to give the rain update up there. In 1982 to 83 rain year, I had the record number of 66 inches of rain, and as of day before yesterday, I've got 65.70 now, so 30 hundredths more and I'll break that record. And we got at least a month of coming, so And I was reading the Mountain Press out of Albury, and 3 different ones. One was Edison, and I forgot, one was the private person, and they had all their records, and they were all from 82, 83 season, and they've already broke all theirs.
Wow.
So
That's great.
So we've really got it up there for change, so it's nice.
Thank you, Rain Man. That was definitely a good report.
Supervisor Pointers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Don't forget it either.
I'd just like to take this opportunity to congratulate the Madera High School girls basketball team who won the Valley Championship. It was quite a scoring effort. It was 27-26, and that was not halftime score. That was the end of the game score, but quite a defensive battle. But the girls worked hard and worked as a team, and congratulations to them.
They deserve it.
Yep.
And Madera South almost did it too.
Yes, I want to encourage everyone to get out and vote today. It's a very important vote that's occurring today. And I want to encourage, as a person, I can encourage you to vote yes on Measure L. I think it's a great measure. We need it to support this county in law enforcement and firefighting. And it's a good measure. So get out and vote.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'm very excited to announce that you may now file your Form 700s online. If you have not received our email blast about that, be sure to contact the clerk of the board's office. But from here on forward, you can now file your Form 700s online.
Okay. Wow. Thank you very much for that information. Now we go on agenda number 5, the consent calendar. Are there any questions from the board?
Yes, one.
Supervisor Wheeler?
Item M. Item Mary. And Public Health Department. There's nobody here from Public Health?
Yvonne is here.
I don't know if you know this question. It's $2 million plus we're getting from the state and federal Medi-Cal revenue, and it says that they're going to hire a full-time position to kind of oversee that. That $2 million, is that just a one-time dollars, and how long you think it'll last, and do we hire somebody that's...
It'll last forever as long as I'm standing here. So these are monies that have always been available, and we chose to pursue it this year. And we have already submitted the paperwork to recover those costs for the next 2 years. And so it's great return on investment. We spent $10,000 on a consultant, and in return we're getting $2 million. And we're anticipating to get that every year for our uncompensated care. The catch is that I don't anticipate using the consultant again for the next 2 years, and it does take an analyst to gather all that information to justify to the state and the feds that we are worthy to receive those reimbursements.
So they'll actually be paying for themselves then?
Correct. Yeah, it's a great deal.
Great. I just seen that, and I like that $2 million number there, but I wasn't sure how long it was going to last. But now you explained it, so congratulations again. And you are right. We're worthy of it, and we know how to make it go to good use. So
right, and because Madera is leading the charge in this, we've convinced Fresno and our other counterpart, Kings County, to look at the source of funding, and we're assisting Fresno County in capturing those funds.
Oh, see?
Supervisor Rogers?
Yeah, item K. Just wanted, K, and wanted to find out about the when we say supplement the pay, we're supplementing it up to their original pay. Is that right?
I think Adrian would be the best person to answer that.
Their loss of income up to the original pay.
Good morning. I'm sorry. I thought you said item A, so I apologize about that. Good morning.
That's all right. I probably didn't say it clear.
Good morning. Adrian Caleb reporting. What this program does is that if someone makes less in the military than they do on their county salary, then we offset that difference to bring them up to the whole.
That's what I was hoping.
Yes.
I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, and if they make more.
Another question for you. Involuntary. Now, if they volunteer for additional time, then this program doesn't apply, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
And we have to approve this every year.
We approve it every 6 months.
6 months, okay, 'cause I know it's always on the agenda, so.
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers, you were about to say something.
If they make more in the military, there is no offset.
Okay, right. Thank you. I'm sure that's probably never the case.
Yeah.
It has happened a few times.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
I move we...
Public?
Oh, I'm
Do we have
sorry.
any comments from the public? If not, we'll bring it back. to
I
the
move we
board.
approve the consent calendar as given to us. And
Second.
thank Maria for all the items that she had on there, and I couldn't find no mistakes.
Thank you, Maria, again. Clerk?
Call for the vote. Supervisor Wheeler?
Yes.
Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0. Okay, moving on to item 7A, Sheriff Coroner's Department, discussion and consideration of entering into an agreement with CTI Towers Assets Number 2, LLC, in the amount of $9,600 per year for an antenna site license.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This particular tower is pre-existing. It exists out by your animal shelter and the Department of Corrections. It's roughly 300 feet tall. Currently, the highest repeater that we have in the valley is at 120 feet. The position on this tower that we are asking to rent is at 269 feet. And the reason that we need this is because although the in-car radios are quite sufficient, our handheld radios, the ones that you see the deputies wearing, it's pretty weak. And there's a number of spots, even in the valley, where you'd think it would be good because it's flat and all of that. There's a number of things that can interfere with that signal, so we have been working with this company to rent a site that exists on their tower. We're going to take some old equipment down, put some new equipment up, and that's kind of the gist of the contract. Needs to come first before we ask the board at your next meeting to approve the cost of putting this equipment in place, and certainly we won't go forward with the contract without your approval on the second item.
Move to approve, yeah, second.
Third, yeah, first, second.
I didn't catch what supervisor made the motion. The
Roger.
second.
David.
And the second was from Frazier. Thank you.
And then, Mr. Chairman, if you open it up to the public, too, for comment.
Do we have any comments from the public? If not, let's vote.
Call for the vote. Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Wheeler?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Thank you.
7B, Behavioral Health Services. Discussion and consideration of approval to hire Julie Morgan as the Assistant Director at a D-Step with 10 years longevity of a salary range 369, DL10, $9,633.30, effective March 1st, 2017.
Thank you. Well, you met Julie Morgan. I can talk a lot of things about her experience of working
Move
in
to
that
approve.
Second.
Third.
Thank you.
Public comment. Bring back for a vote.
Call for the vote. Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Wheeler?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez?
Dennis. We were just...
Yes.
Vote passes
Yeah, our
5-0.
confidence.
Yeah, for the record, I had moved.
Okay.
David second.
Thank you. Vote passes 5-0. Item 7C, Economic Development Commission, Madera County. Discussion and consideration of approval of the Madera County Economic Development Commission fiscal year 2017-2018 basic service level budget as submitted.
Button.
Mic on. No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The amount that is exactly the same as last year, and I don't see Kelly here today, but I've had multiple discussions with her, and I know that she was the one recommending that same amount as last year. So I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any Any questions from the board?
Move to approve.
Second.
Call for the vote. Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Wheeler?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Rodriguez?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Bobby.
Number 8, pending legislation. Discuss, support, or oppose legislation presented by supervisors and/or staff.
Hey, thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Joel Begay, County Administration. What we were asking, we're requesting the board today is to consider sending this letter to the chairman of the Assembly Budget Subcommittee Number 1, Assemblyman Joaquin Arambula. They will have a hearing tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. in regards to the IHSS MOE elimination. And we were in a conference call yesterday with CSAC, and CSAC strongly encouraged individual counties to send their own letters, even though CSAC and the California Welfare Directors Association have already sent letters of opposition. They felt that the more counties they hear from, the better position they'll have in negotiating any kind of mitigation to the impacts locally. So we're asking your consideration.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
This is devastating to our county.
Mm-hmm. Any other comments?
Nope. Go for it. And Max,
Anybody from the public?
Thumbs up?
Yep.
Got all thumbs up. 100%.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Why does he bring that forward?
Good morning, Brittany Dyer, District Chief of Staff to Supervisor Tom Wheeler. We have one other timely item that just came up in regards to the OHV funding and a bill that has been put forward to oppose. It's SB 249. Melissa's handing out copies right now. I believe I may be one short, Rhonda. I'll be sure to get that to you when I get back upstairs.
It's mine, so I don't need it.
Okay.
Send it out. So.
This bill, what we're recommending is that we strongly urge to oppose SB 249. The legislation would effectively eliminate the California Off-Highway Motor Vehicle Program by allowing funds collected from gasoline tax and other fees imposed on OHV recreationalists to be used for non-OHV purposes. This, of course, undermines the entire program and the user pay, user benefit philosophy on which it has been based. Further, the bill would result in the effective elimination of opportunities for public comment on OHV commissioner matters.
This is a money grab. They're just trying to...
It really is. And, all of us people that pays in that, I've had a four-wheeler for years. And
too.
Off-road. That's what that money has totally been designated for. That's the reason they even put it in that we have to pay it. And now they want to rob it.
Yeah, and it's moving pretty fast.
Yeah, this is very frustrating. My 4x sits in my garage probably 99% of the year. The 1% I take it out, I like to ride it in a park or wherever I want, on the trails where that's allowed. Mm-hmm. And, that's what I pay the money for.
Exactly. Yeah.
If it's your board's desire, we'd like to send this out today.
To everybody up there.
Comments from the public on this issue? None at all. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, girls. And you too, sir.
It's not boards and supervisors. It's Sacramento.
Supervisors and staff reports.
Robert?
Thank you. Last week, I had the opportunity, joined by Supervisor Frazier, to attend the Valley Voice Regional Policy Council annual lobbying trip to Sacramento. We had an opportunity this last Wednesday. We met probably with 7 or 8 legislators and different departments and so forth to talk about goods movement primarily and some other issues. It's all about doing something with our crumbling roads here in the San Joaquin Valley. And with the goods movement, Highway 99 and some of the other east-west corridors. And how effective were we? Well, we represent 10% of the population in the entire state in our 8-county area. I can say that they heard our voice. There's a couple of pieces of legislation. There's SB1 and AB1, which are fairly identical, and it's the Democrats' version of what's probably, if anything passes, that's probably what's going to pass. The Republicans have a version, but I think it's pretty much dead on arrival. It makes a lot of sense, but right now the Republicans are the super minority. So we'll see what happens in the next few weeks.
I went to Sacramento last Thursday and Friday, and one of them was on the water summit that the Sierra Nevada Conservancy put on, and the Department of Interior, I think, from Washington was there, and the one from California was there speaking and had some panels. It was really great. And then Thursday we had our first quarterly meeting that I'm on the board now. I started this actually in January, and so I'll be on it for 2 years representing Madera, Fresno, Tulare, and Kings County. Kern County. And so we got about $10 million to give out, and when I was on the board last time, they used to give most of that money up north, and then I had them divided up in sections, so that there's south, central, and north. And so we've got, in November I went up there and we got two $500,000 grants, one from Madera, one from Mariposa County, and that we're actually running out of our Yosemite, Sequoia, RC&D, which represents the 4 counties too, and I'm the chairman of that. So we're actually overseeing those grants, so we're more money coming to Madera County, and I guarantee you when these new grants come out, we're going to be fighting for ours down here again. And we changed some language in it to include more tree mortality this time, so that's going to be really helpful. And there's 6 supervisors on it representing all the Sierra Nevadas, and there's 7 representatives from 2 from the governor's office, 2 from legislature, both departments, Senate and Assembly, and 1 at large that they get to pick. So there's 6 of us against their 7, and we usually hold up our own pretty good. So we get one of them to go our way. So.
Okay. Yeah, I attended the NACO conference in Washington, D.C., the legislative conference, and California had the biggest delegation there. I made the case for water, which is my number one push. Somebody tried to say that while we were there, one of the legislators says transportation is our number one issue. I said, I beg to differ with you, sir. Without water, we won't need any roads.
Yeah.
And so anyway, the case was made for Temperance Flat Dam, of course, and as a primary need. And in my study of that issue, I developed a little known fact that in the last 30 years, we've lost enough water to stretch a column of water, or a river, if it were, 300 feet wide, 150 foot deep, which is pretty deep river for a river as it goes. But you could stretch that from sea to shining sea, from here to New York City. And that's a lot of water lost over the last 30 years due to poor policy. There is no shortage of water. There's a shortage of storage for water, and certainly a shortage of common sense water policy. And that's the case I made in D.C., and I think it was heard loud and clear.
Brett? I also attended the Valley Voice in Sacramento with Supervisor Poitras, and sometimes it is like beating your head against the wall up there, but we talked to our representatives that sometimes are hamstrung because they're the super minority. But I also wanted to let everybody know that the 8th, 9th, and 10th is a San Joaquin Valley Policy Conference held in Fresno County. So you can go down for some of the days, none of the days. But if you needed information on it, you can contact our office.
Max, can I show one more thing?
Tom?
At that,
You want to add something, Tom?
Yeah, I want to add something to the water deal on Wednesday. There was a lawyer there that was on one of the panels, and he tried to tell us that if we added all the water storage projects that's on the books that we have, trying to get Temperance Dam, the Self Dam, and the different ones, that would only add 2% of our total water. So why are we wasting our money on that? And I mean,
that's baloney.
People about come unglued when he said that. So
it doubles our storage capacity.
Oh, I know. I mean, it's just this guy, and he says that I've fought in Washington, I fought in Sacramento, and all these different lawsuits about water. And he says, and I'm proud to say I usually win. And I wanted to say, yeah, well, you're going to lose this one, buddy. And so Richard Forster, you know, the CSAC president, last year. And he was there as the alternate, and he decided he'd never been to one of them. So at our break on Thursday, and every time the water stuff come up, I kind of said a few things. And he said, he got Jim Brannon, the CAO of it, and together, him and I at the break, and he says, how come when Tom talks, everybody kind of turns their head and looks the other way? And Jim said, well, they know Tom's going to say what it is and what it ain't, so there's no getting.
You know what? We just got to keep beating that drum.
I know. So
until they get tired of hearing it, because
like,
it's a fact.
Also, you know, yesterday, because we've been beating that drum so much, even the Wall Street Journal picked up and wrote a piece and saying California has enough water, not enough water storage, and that was in the Wall Street Journal.
Is in the Wall Street Journal.
So if the East Coast elitists get it, I don't know why we can't make our legislature see it.
In California. Yeah. And what Brett and Rob both said, we are in the minority, and that's what Jim told Richard. He says, well, you know, we are in the minority here, so we just got to keep fighting. And, you know, Tom is going to sit there and keep fighting.
That's right.
But it was pretty funny when he come and said that. So,
you know, last week, Norman Ellender and Chief of Staff Letty and myself, we went to L.A. They had a high-speed rail and rail committee coalition meeting up there, and most of the audience were manufacturers from Europe, and what they spoke about is the cost of building, what they did right, and why they should be picked to build the rail whenever it does happen. Financing is kind of shaky on the high-speed rail, but I think it will prevail with time. I really, truly think that our president will join forces with our governor to get that rail built. He had spoken in the past, a couple of weeks ago. He did say that we're missing a lot of things in the United States, and one of them is a high-speed rail. So we don't have any. That kind of tells you that he has an interest in a high-speed rail. Perhaps it's difficult because we have opposite parties not being able to communicate with each other. But I think in the long run, they'll realize what's good for this country. While we were there, we talked to a lot of people there. We expressed our feelings about our interests, and we made a short comment about locating the heavy maintenance yard here in Madera County. And they listen, but nobody commits to anything in the future. But we have to keep hammering away to take care of Madera County.
Yes, Max. Rob just handed this morning's paper, and Dan Walters wrote a thing saying that the president put a hold on that $647 million for the electrifying the Caltrain train commuter in San Francisco, and they didn't sell cap and trade dollars again, I guess, this week. So,
well, what that means is what they did, they postponed it until they get into the new budget for the next year. That's that hold up. But I truly believe they'll come together for the common good of the country.
All right.
Okay. CAO?
Nothing to report, Mr. Chairman.
County Council?
Nothing to report.
Okay. We have some closed session issues yet? Okay. Let's do so.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
I want to be able to dance multiple times.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. This morning's closed session, there was action taken on one item. It's item 2B, B as in boy. It's the public employee appointment. The title position is Director of Department of Social Services. 2 resolutions were approved in closed session, and I'll report out the approval here. Both of them are pending the acceptance of the appointee, which is Hubert Walsh. First resolution is a resolution appointing Hubert Walsh as a retired annuitant to the position of County Interim Director of Social Services, waiving the 180-day waiting period from the date of recruitment and making findings in support thereof. And this is the CalPERS approved resolution. So the board makes the findings that it's anticipated that the county's recruitment efforts and final selections will conclude in April of 2017. Appointing him as the interim director based on his specialized educational background and skill set, and doing that immediately and waiving the 180-day waiting period. The second resolution is related. It's appointing him as the interim director of social services effective March 7th, so today. The salary for the appointment is at range 427, step E, DHB2 0115, and that's $73.40.6 hourly, effective March 7th. So that would be his compensation, and authorizes the auditor, controller, and HR to carry out the terms and conditions of this resolution. That's it. And that was approved, Resolution 1 was approved on a motion by Supervisor Frazier, seconded by Supervisor Rogers, and approved 5-0. The second resolution was on a motion by Supervisor Rogers, seconded by Supervisor Wheeler, approved also 5-0. And again, both of those are pending the acceptance by Mr. Walsh, and we're waiting to hear that he accepts that appointment, hopefully soon.
Very good.
To adjourn?
So moved. All right.